4 minutes and 52 seconds. That is all the time Aaliyah Carter has left before the doors close forever. Her admission ticket trembles in her hand. The paper is creased from being folded and unfolded 100 times. Metropolitan Nursing College Testing Center stands just 30 yards away across the park. Glass doors gleaming in the Chicago morning sun. 4 years of studying. 300 sleepless nights. One chance to escape poverty. But something is wrong in Millennium Park. An elderly black woman in expensive athletic wear lies motionless on the jogging path. Her body twisted at an unnatural angle. No rise and fall of her chest. No movement at all. People walk past. Phones emerge like weapons. Recording, watching, judging. Nobody helps. Nobody even kneels down. If you believe justice is still alive, show us by hitting that subscribe button right now. This is Tales of Black Justice, where we share true stories of people who were pushed down but rose up stronger. Press like button if you stand with those who refuse to stay invisible. Aaliyah's nursing training kicks in before her brain catches up. She runs toward the woman. Her admission ticket falls from her grip. The wind catches it. 4 years of work tumbling across the grass. The woman is not breathing. Aaliyah presses 2 fingers against her neck. No pulse. Her skin is warm but lifeless. Cardiac arrest. 3 minutes left until the testing center locks its doors. Aaliyah positions her hands over the woman's sternum. She begins chest compressions. Hard. Fast. 30 compressions. 2 rescue breaths. Repeat. Someone call 911. Her voice cuts through the morning air. A teenager holds up his phone. I am recording this. This is going viral. Then call for help too. The crowd watches. Nobody moves. Nobody helps. Aaliyah's arms burn. Sweat drips into her eyes. 120 compressions per minute. Pushing hard enough to compress the chest 2 inches. Exactly as she was trained. Does anyone see an AED? She gasps between compressions. Automated external defibrillator. Red box with a heart symbol. Blank stares. Check the visitor center. 100 yards that way. Run! A jogger finally moves. Sprinting toward the building. Aaliyah does not stop. 30 compressions. 2 breaths. 30 compressions. 2 breaths. Her muscles scream. Her lungs burn. But the woman needs blood flowing to her brain. Needs oxygen. Needs someone who refuses to give up. Behind her, across the park, the testing center doors swing shut. Locked. Final. The next exam is 18 months away. But Aaliyah's hands do not stop moving. Compression after compression. Breath after breath. This woman's life is worth 18 months. Worth 4 years. Worth everything. The jogger returns, holding a red AED case. His hands shake as he opens it. Turn it on. Aaliyah's voice stays steady even as her body trembles from exhaustion. Follow the voice prompts. Place the pads exactly where it shows. He fumbles with the pads. Aaliyah keeps compressing. Keeps breathing. Keeps fighting. The AED analyzes the heart rhythm. Shock advised. Stand clear. Aaliyah lifts her hands. The machine delivers electricity. The woman's body jerks. Resume CPR. Aaliyah's hands return to the woman's chest. More compressions. More breaths. Her vision blurs. How long has it been? 6 minutes? 8? In the distance, sirens finally wail. Growing louder. Growing closer. The woman suddenly gasps. A desperate, rattling breath. Her eyes flutter open. Confused. Terrified. You are okay. Aaliyah's voice cracks. You are breathing. Help is here. Paramedics rush toward them. A team moving with practiced efficiency. They take over. Oxygen mask. IV line. Heart monitor. The lead paramedic looks at Aaliyah. You saved her life. How long were you doing CPR? 8 minutes. Maybe 8 minutes. He shakes his head in admiration. You brought her back. Most people would have given up. Aaliyah stands on shaking legs. Her uniform is soaked with sweat. Her hands are cramping. Her chest heaves with exhaustion. As they load the woman onto a gurney, her eyes find Aaliyah. She tries to speak. The oxygen mask muffles her words, but she reaches out, grabs Aaliyah's hand with surprising strength. A paramedic tries to pull Aaliyah away. Ma'am, we need to transport. The woman will not let go. She pulls Aaliyah closer. Her eyes lock onto Aaliyah's face. Memorizing, promising. Then they wheel her away. Swallowed by the ambulance, gone. Aaliyah stands alone in Millennium Park, surrounded by people who did nothing. Who watched? Who recorded? Who walked away? Her phone buzzes. 17 missed calls. All from family. She walks slowly toward the bus stop. Her legs barely hold her weight. The adrenaline is fading. Reality crashes in. She just destroyed her future for a stranger. But that stranger is breathing, heart beating, alive. The bus ride home feels endless. The alarm screams at 4:30 in the morning. Aaliyah silences it before the sound wakes Grandma Ruby. The oxygen concentrator hums from the back bedroom. A steady rhythm that costs $97 every 2 weeks. She dresses in the dark. Gray uniform. Name tag that says only Aaliyah with no last name. Comfortable shoes worn thin at the heels. In the kitchen, her mother Diane sits at the table, still wearing hospital scrubs from her overnight shift as a nursing assistant. Coffee steams in a chipped mug. Dark circles shadow her eyes. Big day. Diane's voice is soft with hope. Aaliyah nods. She cannot trust herself to speak. You studied harder than anyone I know. You are going to pass that exam without breaking a sweat. The words should comfort her. They do not. Aaliyah thinks about the exam fee. $200 they borrowed from Mrs. Rodriguez next door. Money they promised to repay by Friday. Her younger brother Jordan emerges from the pull-out couch. 17 years old. Sharp jaw. Sharper mind. He is brilliant enough for any college in America. Too poor to afford any of them. You are going to crush it. Jordan's confidence sounds forced. Then you will get that nursing job at Metro General. $80,000 a year. We will finally get out of this place. The apartment is silent except for the oxygen machine. Southside Chicago projects. 3-bedroom apartments split between 5 people. Thin walls. Thinner opportunities. Aaliyah checks her bag one final time. Pencils. Calculator. Admission ticket. Photo ID. Everything she needs to change their lives. She kisses her mother's cheek. She squeezes Jordan's shoulder. She tiptoes past Grandma Ruby's room where cancer steals breath one day at a time. The bus arrives 7 minutes late. Chicago traffic moves like cold honey. Aaliyah watches the clock on her phone. She has exactly enough time if nothing goes wrong. At Metro General Hospital, she clocks in for her 4-hour morning shift. Environmental Services Technician. The official title for someone who mops floors and empties trash. Carter. Her supervisor does not look up from his clipboard. Cardiac wing needs cleaning. Move fast. We have procedures scheduled. The cardiac wing floor is slick with yesterday's footprints. Red hazard cones guard wet spots. The smell of bleach and desperation fills her nose. She has cleaned this hallway 100 times. She will clean it 100 more. While she mops, doctors rush past. White coats pristine. Stethoscopes swinging. They do not see her. She is invisible. Part of the walls. Part of the floor she cleans. A young white resident nearly trips over her bucket. Watch where you put that thing. He does not apologize. He does not meet her eyes. He just walks away. Aaliyah finishes at 8:15. She changes out of her uniform in the staff bathroom. Not the medical staff bathroom. That one requires a special badge. She uses the service staff bathroom in the basement next to the loading dock. Millennium Park is 1 mile away. She walks quickly. Running would make her sweat through her good shirt. At 8:40, she stands at the park entrance. The testing center is on the other side. A straight path through morning joggers and tourists taking photos by the bean sculpture. Aaliyah checks her admission ticket one more time. The paper is already damp from her grip. She takes a deep breath. She starts walking. The morning is beautiful. Bright sun, clear sky. Chicago at its best. Then she sees the woman fall. Not a trip. Not a stumble. A collapse. Like someone cut her strings. The woman goes down hard on the jogging path. Her body crumples. Does not move. Aaliyah looks at the testing center. Then at the woman. Then at her watch. 4 minutes and 52 seconds until the doors close forever. Her feet carry her toward the woman before her mind finishes deciding. Some choices are not really choices at all. The woman is in her 70s. Black skin with silver hair pulled back in a neat ponytail. Expensive athletic wear. Running shoes that cost more than Aaliyah's monthly rent. A fitness tracker on her wrist flashing red warnings. Aaliyah drops to her knees. Ma'am, can you hear me? No response. No chest movement. No pulse. She tilts the woman's head back. Checks the airway. Clear. Positions her hands on the sternum. Begins compressions, 1, 2, 3, 4, pushing down 2 inches with each compression. Hard enough to crack ribs if necessary. Hard enough to keep blood flowing to the brain. At 30 compressions, she pinches the woman's nose. Seals her mouth over the woman's. 2 rescue breaths. Watching for chest rise, then back to compressions. Her phone is in her bag 3 feet away. She cannot stop to call 911. Cannot stop compressions for even 10 seconds. Someone call for an ambulance. She shouts to the crowd forming around her. Phones come out. But for recording, not calling. Call 911 right now. Her voice carries authority. Medical emergency. Cardiac arrest. Millennium Park near the Bean. Tell them we need an AED. Finally, a middle-aged white woman pulls out her phone. Makes the call. Aaliyah does not stop. 30 compressions. 2 breaths. 30 compressions. 2 breaths. Her arms burn. 3 minutes of continuous CPR feels like 3 hours. But she cannot stop. Brain damage starts after 4 minutes without oxygen. Death follows soon after. A white man in running gear kneels beside her. I know CPR. Want me to take over? Thank you, Aliyah gasps. On my count, do not stop compressions for more than 2 seconds. She counts to 30. He positions his hands, takes over. His compressions are too shallow, harder. Aliyah's voice is sharp. You need to compress at least 2 inches. You might crack a rib. That is okay. Harder. He pushes harder. Better. Aliyah checks the woman's pulse. Still nothing. She scans the crowd. Does anyone see an AED? Red box with a heart symbol? Should be near the visitor center. A young man finally runs toward the building. The jogger is tiring. His compressions slow. Aliyah takes over again. Her muscles scream. But she does not stop. Will not stop. The AED arrives. Aliyah tears open the woman's jacket. Positions the pads on bare skin. One below the right collarbone. One on the left side below the breast. The machine analyzes. A calm robotic voice fills the air. Shock advised. Stand clear of patient. Everyone backs away. The machine delivers electricity. The woman's body convulses. Continue CPR. Aliyah's hands return. More compressions. More breaths. How much time has passed? 6 minutes? 7? She notices a pill bottle lying on the ground near the woman. Nitroglycerin. For heart patients. She picks it up. Empty. Strange. A heart patient jogging without medication? No time to think. Keep compressing. Keep breathing. Keep fighting! The woman suddenly gasps. A desperate, painful sound. Her chest heaves. Her eyes flutter open. You are okay. Stay still. Help is coming. The woman's eyes find Aliyah's face. Wide, confused, grateful. Sirens finally arrive. Paramedics take over with smooth efficiency. They load her onto a gurney. Start an IV. Place an oxygen mask. As they prepare to transport, the woman grabs Aliyah's wrist. Her grip is surprisingly strong. What is your name? The words are muffled by the mask but clear. Aliyah Carter. The woman's eyes bore into hers. I will not forget you, Aliyah Carter. Then she is gone. The ambulance doors close. Sirens fade into the distance. Aliyah stands in the dispersing crowd. Her hands are shaking. Her uniform is soaked. Her chest still heaves from exertion. A police officer approaches, taking statements, asking questions. It takes 20 minutes. By the time Aliyah walks across the park to the testing center, the doors are locked. A sign taped to the glass. No late admissions. No exceptions. She presses her forehead against the cool glass. 4 years. Gone. Her phone buzzes. A text from Jordan. How did it go? She does not answer. Cannot answer. Not yet. The walk to the bus stop takes forever. Each step heavier than the last. She saved a life today. But at what cost? The projects loom ahead. Concrete towers stretching toward gray clouds. Home. Prison. Safety. Trap. All of these things at once. Aliyah climbs 3 flights of broken stairs. Past graffiti. Past the lingering smell of marijuana. Past Mrs. Rodriguez watering her single plant on the balcony. Mija. Mrs. Rodriguez's voice is gentle. How did your exam go? Aliyah cannot speak. She just shakes her head. Keeps climbing. Inside apartment 3B, her family waits. Diane's still in her scrubs. Jordan on the couch with his textbook. Grandma Ruby's oxygen machine humming from the back room. How did it go? Diane's voice is barely a whisper. Aliyah's silence says everything. You did not take it. Jordan closes his book. The sound is like a gunshot. Tell me you did not throw away 4 years for some stranger. A woman collapsed. Cardiac arrest. There were no paramedics for 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Jordan stands. His hands shake. You could have taken your exam and then someone else could have helped. There was no one else. She was dying, so what? Jordan's voice rises. So what if some rich lady dies jogging in the park? Now we all die slow and poor and stuck here forever. Jordan. Diane's voice is sharp. No, I am done pretending this is okay. Jordan's eyes blaze with tears. Aliyah just destroyed our only chance. The next exam is 18 months away. By then we will be evicted. Grandma will be dead, and we will still be mopping floors for minimum wage while white people walk past us like we are invisible. The words hang in the air like smoke. Cruel, true, unbearable. I am sorry. Aliyah's voice cracks. I am so sorry. Sorry does not pay rent. Jordan grabs his backpack. Storms out. The door slams hard enough to rattle the walls. Diane stands. Wraps her arms around her daughter. You did the right thing, baby girl, did I? Aliyah's tears finally come. Did I really? You saved a life. That matters, but at what cost? There is no answer. They both know the math. Without Aliyah's nursing salary, the family faces eviction within 3 months. Grandma's cancer treatment will stop. Jordan's dreams of college will die. One act of compassion. A cascade of consequences. Aaliyah checks on Grandma Ruby. The old woman sleeps fitfully. Her breathing labored even with the oxygen mask. At 78, every day is borrowed time. How are you doing, Grandma? Ruby's eyes flutter open. Did you become a nurse today? The question is a knife to the heart. Not yet, Grandma. Soon. Good. You are going to save so many lives, if only she knew. One life saved. An entire future lost. That evening, an envelope waits on the kitchen table. Metropolitan Nursing College logo in the corner. Aaliyah's hands shake as she opens it. Dear Ms. Carter, we regret to inform you that your missed examination date has resulted in automatic dismissal from the nursing program. Per university policy, reapplication requires an 18-month waiting period and full tuition payment up front. 18 months, $28,000. Jordan is right. This is it. This is the end. 3 weeks pass in gray monotony. Double shifts at the hospital, mopping floors, emptying trash, watching nurses in crisp scrubs rush past to save lives while she cleans up after them. Diane works herself to exhaustion. 2 jobs, 70 hours a week. Dark circles, constant pain. Never complaining, Jordan barely speaks. His scholarship applications sit untouched. Why bother? They cannot afford application fees anyway. Grandma Ruby gets weaker. The oxygen tank empties faster now. Each refill costs money they do not have. Mrs. Rodriguez stops asking about the exam. The whole building knows. Failure travels fast in the projects. Aaliyah lies awake each night, staring at the ceiling, replaying that morning. Different choices, different outcomes. What if she had walked past, told herself someone else would help, taken her exam, passed, started her new job, saved her family? But then that woman would be dead. Is one stranger's life worth her entire family's future? The question has no good answer. On a Thursday morning, 3 weeks after the incident, Aaliyah's phone rings. Unknown number. Chicago area code, hello? Is this Aaliyah Carter? A cultured voice. Professional. Yes, who is this? My name is Margaret Hayes. I believe you saved my life 3 weeks ago in Millennium Park. The world stops spinning. Judge Hayes? Aaliyah's voice comes out as a whisper. You know who I am? I Googled you after. I wanted to know if you survived. I survived because of you. A pause, a breath. I would like to meet you. Are you free this afternoon? I have work. I will make it worth your time. My car will pick you up at 2 o'clock. Please. I have something important to discuss. Aaliyah looks around the apartment. The peeling paint, the broken furniture, the oxygen machine, the impossible weight of responsibility. What choice does she have? Okay, I will be ready. She gives the address. Southside Projects, 3rd floor, apartment 3B. The line goes quiet for just a moment. Then Judge Hayes speaks again, her voice warm. Thank you, Aaliyah. I will see you soon. The call ends. Aaliyah stares at her phone, then at Jordan, then at the dismissal letter still sitting on the kitchen table. Maybe, just maybe, there is still hope. Thursday afternoon arrives with unexpected sunshine. Aaliyah stands at the window watching the street below. At 1:45, a black Mercedes sedan pulls up. Not a Rolls-Royce, something more understated, but still completely out of place. The driver emerges, an older black man in a simple suit. He approaches the building with dignity rather than spectacle. 3 sharp knocks. Aaliyah opens the door. The driver's face is kind. Professional without being cold, Miss Carter. Judge Hayes is looking forward to meeting you. The ride takes 30 minutes. South Side gives way to middle-class neighborhoods. Then to Hyde Park, tree-lined streets, historic homes, the University of Chicago campus nearby. The car stops in front of a brick mansion. Not ostentatious, but clearly expensive. Old money, old power. A brass plaque by the door reads, Hayes Residence, Esther 1924. The driver opens her door. Judge Hayes is in her study. Follow me, please. Inside, the house breathes history. Bookshelves floor to ceiling. Framed photographs line the walls. Civil rights marches. Court proceedings. A younger Judge Hayes standing beside Martin Luther King Jr. Another with Thurgood Marshall. Another being sworn in as a federal judge. Aaliyah stops at each photo, absorbing, understanding. This woman is a legend. The study door is open. Judge Margaret Hayes sits in a leather chair by the window. Afternoon light catches the silver in her hair. She looks stronger than she did on the ground. But fragile, mortal Aaliyah. The judge stands, slowly but steadily. Come in. Please sit. How are you feeling? Alive. Judge Hayes smiles. Thanks entirely to you. Aaliyah sits on the edge of a chair, uncomfortable in this space. These surroundings, this history. I did what anyone should have done, but most people did not. Judge Hayes' eyes are sharp, penetrating. I was lying on that path for 30 seconds before you arrived. 17 people walked past me. Some looked, most did not. You were the only one who stopped. The weight of that sits between them. Tell me about yourself, Aaliyah. I want to know who you are. So Aaliyah tells her. The projects, 3 jobs, nursing school, the exam she missed, the dismissal letter, the family depending on her, the impossible weight of it all. Judge Hayes listens without interrupting. When Aaliyah finishes, the judge stands, walks to her desk, returns with a folder. I had my assistant research you. I hope you do not mind. She opens the folder. Aaliyah's transcripts. Dean's list every semester. Recommendations from professors. Awards. Certifications. You have a 3.8 GPA. Top 5% of your class. Multiple professors wrote that you are one of the most promising students they have taught in 20 years. The judge looks up. Why are you working as a janitor? Because it is the only job that would work with my school schedule. Because my family needs money now. Because that is what people like me do. We work whatever jobs we can get. People like you. Black women from the projects. Judge Hayes is quiet for a long moment. When I was your age, I was working as a secretary in a law firm. I had a law degree from Howard University, but no white firm would hire a black woman lawyer. So I typed letters and filed papers and smiled when they called me girl. Aaliyah looks at the photographs on the wall. At this woman's history, her legacy. How did you change it? I did not change it. Judge Hayes' voice is firm. Not alone. We changed it. Thousands of us. Fighting every single day. Some of us made it to the bench. Most of us did not. But we all fought. She returns to her chair. Sits with visible effort. I am 73 years old. I had a heart attack 3 weeks ago. My doctor says I should not have survived. But I did. Because you refused to walk past. You are welcome. But I lost everything to save you. The words come out harsher than Aaliyah intended. But they are true. Judge Hayes does not flinch. I know, and I am going to fix it. You cannot fix it. The exam is gone. The program dismissed me. I need to wait 18 months and pay $28,000. I do not have 18 months or $28,000. No. Judge Hayes' smile is knowing. But I do. She produces an envelope, opens it, pulls out a letter. This is from Metropolitan Nursing College. Effective immediately, you are reinstated in the nursing program. The missed exam has been excused due to medical emergency circumstances. You will take a makeup exam next month. All fees waived. Aaliyah's hands shake as she takes the letter. Reads it again. How did you do this? I sit on the hospital board. I made a phone call. Aaliyah looks up. That is not fair. Other students do not get second chances. Other students did not save a federal judge's life. Judge Hayes' voice is matter of fact. Fair is a complicated word. Is it fair that you grew up in the projects while other students had tutors and no jobs? Is it fair that you had to choose between your future and my life? No, exactly. So we do what we can to balance the scales. This is me balancing the scales. Aaliyah stares at the letter. At the impossible thing in her hands. Why? Why do this for me? Judge Hayes leans forward. Because I have been fighting for medical justice for 50 years. I started a foundation. We run free clinics. We train community health workers. We fight for people who cannot afford health care. And I am getting old. I need help, real help, from someone who understands both the medicine and the communities we serve. You want to hire me? I want to invest in you. Full scholarship for your remaining semester. A paid internship at my foundation. 20 hours a week. $40 an hour. You finish your degree. You get your license. Then we talk about your future with the foundation. The numbers spin in Aaliyah's head. $40 an hour. 20 hours. $800 a week. Over $3,000 a month. That is more than I make at both my jobs combined. That is the point. Judge Hayes' smile is gentle. You should not have to work yourself to death to become a nurse. You should not have to choose between your education and saving lives. So I am removing that choice. Aaliyah feels tears building. I do not know what to say. Say yes. Say you will let me do for you what you did for me. Save a life. The study is quiet except for the ticking of an antique clock. Aaliyah thinks about her family. About Grandma Ruby's oxygen tank. About Jordan's untouched applications. About Diane's exhausted face. One woman's generosity. A chance to change everything. Yes, the word comes out as a whisper. Then stronger. Yes, I will do it. Judge Hayes' smile could light the entire room. Welcome to the family, Aaliyah Carter. For the first time in 3 weeks, Aaliyah allows herself to hope. But she does not notice the shadow that passes by the study door. The man who was listening, who heard everything. Gregory Hayes, the judge's adopted son. And he is not pleased. 2 months pass like a dream. Aaliyah's new apartment in Hyde Park is small but clean. Sunlight through windows that open. A kitchen with a working stove. A bedroom that is hers alone. She video calls her family every morning. Today, Diane appears on screen in their old kitchen. But something is different. A new refrigerator, fresh paint on the walls. The foundation paid off Grandma's medical bills. Diane's voice shakes. All $47,000. Just like that. She is getting treatment at a private cancer center now. Real doctors. Real hope. Jordan leans into frame. Wearing a blazer. I got into North Shore Academy. Full scholarship. Judge Hayes wrote me a recommendation letter. She said talent runs in families. Aaliyah's throat tightens. Judge Hayes did not just save her. She lifted up everyone she loves. At Metropolitan, her professors treat her differently now. Dr. Martinez pulls her aside after class. The foundation specifically requested you for their summer practicum. That is unprecedented. What did you do to earn Judge Hayes' attention? The right thing at the wrong time. 3 afternoons a week, Aaliyah works at the Hayes Medical Justice Foundation Clinic. It is in a renovated building on the south side. Her old neighborhood. But she sees it differently now. Not as a trap. As a community that needs healing. Today she assists Dr. Brooks with blood pressure screenings. Mrs. Rodriguez from her old building sits in the chair. 7 months pregnant now. Glowing. Mia, is that you? Aaliyah from 3B, Mrs. Rodriguez beams. I heard what happened. You saved Judge Hayes. You are famous around here. Just lucky. No. You are a hero. Mrs. Rodriguez takes her hand. My daughter wants to be a nurse now. Because of you. The words hit Aaliyah in the chest. She is not just changing her own life. She is showing other people what is possible. That evening, Aaliyah returns to the Hayes residence for dinner. A weekly tradition the judge insisted upon. The dining room could seat 20. But they eat in the cozy breakfast nook overlooking the garden. Just the two of them, usually. Tonight, a third person sits at the table. Gregory Hayes, 45 years old. White. Handsome in a cold way. Expensive suit. Expensive watch. Expensive smile that does not reach his eyes. Aaliyah. Gregory stands. Extends his hand. I have heard so much about you. His handshake is firm. Too firm. Making a point. Gregory is my son. Judge Hayes' voice carries a note Aaliyah cannot quite identify. Adopted. 25 years ago. He is a corporate lawyer now. Mergers and acquisitions. Gregory's smile is all teeth. Boring legal work. Nothing as noble as what you two are doing. He says the words like they are praise, but they taste like poison. Throughout dinner, Gregory dominates the conversation, talking about his cases, his clients, his success. The judge listens with a patient expression, the look of someone who has heard this many times before. But Gregory keeps glancing at Aaliyah, assessing, calculating. Mother tells me she is training you to work at the foundation. His tone is casual, too casual. That is quite an opportunity for someone so young. I am grateful for the chance, I am sure. Gregory swirls his wine. Not everyone gets such generous support from my mother. You must have made quite an impression. The words hang between them. Not quite an accusation, but close. Judge Hayes' voice cuts through the tension. Aaliyah saved my life, Gregory. That tends to make an impression, of course. Gregory's smile never wavers. I just worry about you, Mother. You are very trusting. And there are people who take advantage of generous older women, Gregory. The judge's voice goes cold. That is enough. I am simply being protective. Family looks out for each other. Right, Mother? Yes. Judge Hayes meets his eyes. Family does. The rest of dinner passes in uncomfortable silence. After Gregory leaves, the judge walks Aaliyah to the door. I apologize for my son. He can be protective. He does not trust me. He does not trust anyone. Judge Hayes' voice is sad. That is what happens when you spend your life around money. You forget how to see people as people. Aaliyah walks home slowly. Something about Gregory unsettles her. The way he looked at her. Like she was a problem. A threat. She shakes it off. Gregory is just protective of his mother. That is natural, normal, but the unease lingers. At home, she opens her laptop. Googles Gregory Hayes, attorney, Chicago. The results fill her screen. Corporate lawyer. Partner at a major firm. Specializes in hostile takeovers. Known for aggressive tactics. One article catches her eye. From 6 months ago. Attorney Gregory Hayes under investigation for ethics violations. She clicks. Reads. The allegations are vague. Something about conflicts of interest. Representing both sides of a deal. The investigation was dropped. But the stink remains. Aaliyah closes her laptop. Maybe it is nothing. Maybe Gregory is exactly what he appears to be. A successful lawyer. A protective son. But her instincts tell her something else. And Aaliyah has learned to trust her instincts. The first blow comes on a Wednesday morning. Aaliyah is reviewing patient files at the foundation clinic when her phone explodes with notifications. Text messages. Missed calls, news alerts, all bearing the same devastating headline. Nursing student under investigation for elder exploitation. Her hands shake as she opens the lead article from Channel 7 News. Aaliyah Carter, 22, is under investigation by the Illinois Attorney General's office for allegedly exploiting an elderly woman following a medical emergency 4 months ago. Sources claim Carter may have taken advantage of retired Judge Margaret Hayes' vulnerable state to gain financial benefits. The room spins. Aaliyah grabs the desk to steady herself. Anonymous complaints filed with the state suggest Carter inserted herself into Judge Hayes' life with calculated intent. The complainant alleges Carter has received over $50,000 in payments, housing, and educational benefits from the elderly judge in just 2 months. Dr. Brooks appears at her cubicle. Face grim. Aaliyah, we need to talk. His office feels like a tomb. An official letter sits on his desk. The Attorney General's office is investigating. Until it is resolved, you are suspended from all foundation activities. No clinic work. No patient contact. This is insane. I saved her life, I know. But they have to investigate any formal complaint, especially involving an elderly person and financial transfers. Who would do this? But even as she asks, Aaliyah knows the answer. The Hayes residence feels different when she arrives that afternoon. No warm greeting. No invitation to dinner. Just Gregory standing in the foyer, arms crossed. Expression cold. You need to stay away from my mother, excuse me? You heard me. Whatever game you are playing, it is over. I am not playing any game. Really? Gregory pulls out his phone. Shows her a spreadsheet. $53,000 in 4 months. Scholarship, apartment, salary, medical bills for your family. Quite a return on investment for 8 minutes of CPR. Judge Hayes offered those things. I did not ask for them, did you not? Gregory steps closer. A poor janitor saves a rich old woman's life, gets showered with money and opportunity. Then suddenly the old woman is rewriting her will, changing foundation leadership, talking about legacy and succession. What a coincidence. The accusation hits like a physical blow. You think I am trying to steal from your mother? I think you saw an opportunity and took it. Gregory's voice is ice, and I am not going to let you destroy what my mother spent 50 years building. Judge Hayes appears at the top of the stairs. Gregory, what is happening? Mother, Gregory's voice changes, becomes gentle, concerned. We need to talk about Aaliyah, about what she is really after, what I am after. Aaliyah's voice rises. I saved your mother's life. I gave up my future for her. And you think I am some con artist? You gave up nothing. Gregory's smile is cruel. You got everything you wanted. A scholarship, a salary, a rich benefactor. How convenient that my mother had a heart attack right when you were walking by. The implication hangs in the air. Poisonous. Are you suggesting I caused your mother's heart attack? Aaliyah's voice shakes with rage. I am suggesting that 8 minutes of CPR should not come with a $50,000 price tag. Gregory! Judge Hayes descends the stairs slowly. That is enough, Mother. Please, look at this objectively. A stranger inserts herself into your life, gains your trust, starts receiving substantial financial benefits, changes your will. This is textbook elder exploitation. She did not change my will. I changed my will because she manipulated you. Gregory's voice cracks with what might be genuine emotion. Mother, you had a traumatic medical event. Your judgment was compromised, and she took advantage. Judge Hayes reaches the bottom of the stairs, looks at her son, then at Aaliyah. Aaliyah, would you excuse us for a moment? Gregory and I need to speak privately. Aaliyah stands frozen. This cannot be happening. Please. Judge Hayes' voice is gentle but firm. Aaliyah walks out. The door closes behind her. She stands on the front steps, shaking, trying to breathe. Inside, voices rise. Gregory's anger. Judge Hayes' firm responses. Words she cannot quite make out. Her phone buzzes. A text from Jordan. Just saw the news. Come home, now. Another text. From Diane. Baby, what is happening? Another. From Dr. Martinez. I'm so sorry. The school is putting your reinstatement under review. Everything is falling apart. The door opens behind her. Judge Hayes emerges. Her face is tired. Sad. Aaliyah, I'm sorry about Gregory. He is protective. Sometimes overly so. He thinks I am a con artist. He thinks everyone is a con artist. That is what happens when you practice corporate law. You forget how to trust. Judge Hayes takes Aaliyah's hand. I know who you are. I know what you did for me. Nothing Gregory says will change that. But the investigation will be resolved. I will make sure of it. Judge Hayes' voice is firm. You did nothing wrong, and I will not let anyone punish you for saving my life. Aaliyah wants to believe her, but doubt creeps in. What if Gregory is right? Not about manipulation, but about appearances. About how this looks to outsiders, a poor black woman. A wealthy elderly woman, large sums of money, changed wills. Even innocent truth can look guilty from the right angle. I should go. Aaliyah pulls her hand away. I do not want to cause you more trouble. You are not causing trouble. Gregory is. Judge Hayes' voice hardens. And I will handle him. But as Aaliyah walks away from the mansion, she hears raised voices behind her. A family tearing itself apart. And she is the wedge. That evening, the news runs a follow-up story. An interview with an anonymous source close to the family who expresses concern about Judge Hayes' judgment. Who suggests the elderly woman may be experiencing cognitive decline. Who paints Aaliyah as a predator. The source is never named, but Aaliyah knows who it is. Her phone rings. Unknown number. She almost does not answer. Hello? Miss Carter? This is attorney Linda Chen. I represent Judge Margaret Hayes. The judge would like me to represent you as well in this investigation. Pro bono. Would you be willing to meet? Why would Judge Hayes pay for my lawyer? She did not say, but I suspect it is because she believes in you. And because she is angry. Very angry. A pause. Then, will you meet with me? Aaliyah looks around her apartment. The one Judge Hayes provided. The scholarship. The salary. The hope. All of it slipping away because one man cannot stand to share his mother's love. Yes, I will meet with you. Good. Attorney Chen's voice is steel, because we are going to fight this, and we are going to win. After the call ends, Aaliyah sits in the dark, thinking, remembering. That empty pill bottle on the ground beside Judge Hayes, nitroglycerin, for heart patients. But empty. At the time, she thought it was strange. A heart patient jogging without medication. Now she wonders, was it really empty by accident? Or did someone make sure Judge Hayes would not have her medication when she needed it most? Aaliyah pulls out her phone, opens her photos, scrolls back 4 months, to the day of the heart attack, and there. In one photo a bystander took of the scene. In the background, barely visible, a man, white, well-dressed, standing far back in the crowd, watching, not helping. Just watching, Aaliyah zooms in. The image is grainy, but recognizable. Gregory Hayes, he was there. That day, watching his mother collapse, watching Aaliyah save her, watching everything, and he never said a word. The investigation drags on for 3 weeks. Interviews, document requests, bank records. Everything exposed, everything examined. Attorney Chen is fierce, professional. But even she looks worried. The problem is not evidence. The problem is optics. A young woman receiving substantial benefits from an elderly woman she recently met. It looks bad. I did not ask for any of it, I know. But intent is hard to prove. Chen shuffles papers. The Attorney General's office is under pressure. Elder exploitation is a hot issue. They want to make an example. An example out of me. Unless we can show clear evidence that Judge Hayes was acting freely. That you did not manipulate her. That everything was her idea. It was her idea. Then we need her to say so, officially. Under oath if necessary. She already has. Not enough. Chen meets her eyes. We need more. We need to understand why she chose you. What her thinking was. The whole story. Aaliyah's phone buzzes. A text from Judge Hayes. Come to the house. Tonight. Please. I need to tell you something important. She shows Chen the message. Go. Chen nods. And record the conversation if she agrees. We might need it. That evening, Aaliyah returns to the Hayes mansion. The place feels different now. Tense. Like the walls are holding their breath. Judge Hayes waits in her study. She looks older, frailer. The stress is taking its toll. Thank you for coming. The judge gestures to a chair. Close the door, please. Aaliyah closes the door, sits. Her heart pounds. I need to tell you the truth. Judge Hayes' voice shakes. The whole truth. About why I was in that park. About Gregory. About everything. Okay, 4 months ago I discovered something. Judge Hayes pulls out a folder. Her hands tremble. Gregory was planning to have me declared mentally incompetent. He forged documents suggesting I had dementia. He was going to put me in a nursing home and take control of the foundation. Aaliyah's breath catches. Why? The foundation has $50 million in assets. Real estate, investments. Gregory wanted to liquidate everything, sell it to developers. He already had a buyer lined up. Judge Hayes opens the folder. Shows Aaliyah documents, emails, contracts, all bearing Gregory's signature, all dated before her heart attack. He was going to destroy everything I built. 50 years of medical justice? Gone. Turned into luxury condos. Did you confront him? No. Judge Hayes' voice drops. I did something else. Something I am not proud of. She meets Aaliyah's eyes. I knew Gregory was taking my heart medication, hiding it, trying to cause a medical crisis that would support his incompetence claim. So I let him. You let him? I stopped taking my medication secretly. I exercised when my doctor forbade it. I put myself at risk on purpose. Judge Hayes' tears flow freely now. Because I needed to know. Know what? If there was anyone left in this world who would save an old black woman's life without expecting anything in return. If there was anyone worthy of my legacy, the truth crashes over Aaliyah like a wave. You were testing me. I was testing everyone. And for 30 seconds, 17 people failed. But you did not. You stopped. You fought. You saved me even though it cost you everything. Aaliyah stands. Her hands shake. You put yourself in danger on purpose? You could have died. I was willing to die. Judge Hayes' voice is steady now. To find someone who valued life more than opportunity. Someone who would choose compassion over success. Someone worthy of continuing my work. So this was all a test? The scholarship? The foundation? Everything? No. Judge Hayes stands. Moves toward her. That part was real. My gratitude is real. My belief in you is real. I did not know you would save me. I did not know you existed. But when you did, when you proved who you were, I knew I had found what I was looking for. A successor. A daughter. Judge Hayes' voice breaks. The daughter I never had. The legacy I always wanted. Aaliyah's mind spins. Anger, understanding, betrayal, love, all tangled together. What about Gregory? Judge Hayes returns to her desk, pulls out more documents. Gregory has been embezzling from the foundation for 2 years. Small amounts, careful, but consistent. I have proof. I have been building a case. Why not turn him in? Because he is my son. Judge Hayes' pain is visible. I raised him. I loved him. I wanted to believe he could change, but he cannot. No, he cannot. And now he is trying to destroy you to protect himself. If he can prove you manipulated me, my judgment becomes questionable. His embezzlement gets buried. He wins. Judge Hayes walks to Aaliyah, takes both her hands. I am going to give you something, and you must promise not to open it until I am gone. Gone. What do you mean? My heart is failing, Aaliyah. The doctors give me 6 months, maybe a year. The attack in the park did more damage than we thought. No. Aaliyah's voice cracks. You are getting treatment. You are fine, I am dying. Judge Hayes' voice is gentle. But that is okay. I have lived a full life. I have fought good fights, and now I have found someone to carry on the work. She places an envelope in Aaliyah's hands. This is my will, my real will, not the one Gregory knows about. When I am gone, you will inherit the foundation. All of it. You will become the board chair. You will decide its future. I cannot accept this. You already have. Judge Hayes smiles through tears. The moment you stopped in that park, the moment you chose my life over your exam, you accepted the responsibility of caring for people like me, like us. And now I am giving you the resources to do it on a scale that matters. What about Gregory? He gets $1. Judge Hayes' voice turns cold. The legal minimum. And an explanation. That love without integrity is not love at all. Aaliyah stares at the envelope, at the impossible weight of it. You are putting everything on me. I am trusting you with everything. There is a difference. Judge Hayes' eyes shine. You have already proven yourself worthy. Now I am giving you the tools to change the world. But what about the investigation? Gregory's accusations will fall apart when the truth comes out. When my lawyers reveal Gregory's embezzlement. When I testify under oath about what really happened. The truth will set you free, Aaliyah. It always does. Judge Hayes pulls her into an embrace. Fragile but strong. A warrior passing her shield. Thank you for saving my life. Thank you for proving that goodness still exists in this world. Thank you for being the answer to a question I had been asking for 50 years. What question? Who deserves to inherit the dream? They stand together in the study, surrounded by history, by photographs of civil rights struggles and courtroom victories, by 50 years of fighting for justice, and now that fight belongs to Aaliyah, whether she is ready or not. Judge Margaret Hayes dies on a Tuesday morning in November, peaceful, in her sleep. Her heart simply stops. Aaliyah is in class when she gets the call. She knows before she answers, knows from the way Attorney Chen's voice sounds. Steady but sad. She went peacefully, no pain. The way she wanted. The funeral is held at the historic Quinn Chapel, the same church where civil rights leaders once gathered, where history was made, hundreds attend, judges, lawyers, civil rights activists, community members, all mourning a legend. Gregory sits in the front row. His face is stone. He does not look at Aaliyah, has not spoken to her since the investigation ended 2 weeks ago, since his embezzlement was exposed, since he resigned from his firm under ethics violations, since he lost everything. The will reading happens 3 days later. Attorney Chen's office. Gregory sits on one side of the conference table, Aaliyah on the other, neither speaking. Chen opens the document. Begins to read. Standard provisions first. Personal items. Furniture, photographs, small bequests to staff and friends. Then the important part. To my son, Gregory Hayes, I leave the sum of $1. This is not a clerical error. This is a deliberate choice. Gregory, you were given every advantage, every opportunity. You chose greed over integrity, profit over people. You sought to destroy the work I dedicated my life to building. Love without honor is not love. I hope someday you understand that. Gregory's jaw clenches, but he says nothing to Aaliyah Carter. Chen's voice strengthens. I leave the entirety of my estate, including all assets, properties, and most importantly, the Hayes Medical Justice Foundation. Aaliyah, you saved my life when you had every reason to walk past. You proved that compassion is stronger than ambition. You are the daughter I always wished for, the legacy I always dreamed of. I trust you to carry forward the fight for medical justice. Make me proud. The room is silent. Gregory stands, walks out without a word. The door closes behind him. Chen slides a folder across the table. The foundation has assets of $53 million, 6 community clinics, 40 staff members, partnerships with major hospitals. It is all yours now. Aaliyah stares at the folder. I do not know how to run a foundation. You will learn. Chen smiles. Judge Hayes believed in you. So do I. That evening, Aaliyah sits in Judge Hayes' study. Her study now, surrounded by photographs, by history, by the weight of 50 years of work. Her phone rings. Her mother, baby. Diane's voice trembles. I heard about the will. $50 million? Is that real? It is real. What are you going to do? Aaliyah looks at the photographs on the wall. At Judge Hayes standing beside Martin Luther King Jr. At her being sworn in as a judge. At 50 years of fighting, I am going to finish what she started. 1 year later, the Hayes Medical Justice Foundation conference room fills with morning light. Aaliyah stands at the head of the table. 26 years old now. No longer in a cleaning uniform. No longer invisible. She wears professional attire. Her natural hair in a neat style. Confidence hard-earned. Wisdom learned from loss. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending our quarterly board meeting. Around the table sit foundation directors, community health leaders, medical professionals, all watching her, all following her lead. The past year has been transformative. Aaliyah clicks to the first slide. We have opened 3 new clinics, expanded our mobile health program, created partnerships with 5 major hospitals. Numbers fill the screen. Patient visits, successful treatments, lives saved, but we are not done. Aaliyah's voice strengthens. Today I am proposing a new initiative. The Hidden Talent Program. A murmur runs through the room. We have discovered that 40% of hospital service staff possess unused degrees or certifications. Security guards with engineering degrees, janitors with teaching credentials, cafeteria workers with nursing training. Aaliyah's voice is steady. People who could not afford to use their education, who were invisible in plain sight. She clicks to the next slide. A photograph of herself, in her old cleaning uniform, mopping floors at Metro General. This was me 2 years ago. I had a 3.8 GPA, top 5% of my nursing class, and I was invisible, until I was not. The room is silent, attentive. The Hidden Talent Program will identify underutilized talent in healthcare service positions, provide support for credentialing, create pathways to professional roles. We are starting with 50 participants across our partner hospitals. One board member raises her hand. That is ambitious and expensive. Judge Hayes left us resources for exactly this purpose. Aaliyah meets her eyes. She believed that talent exists everywhere, but opportunity does not. This program creates opportunity. The board votes. Unanimous approval. After the meeting, Aaliyah walks through Hyde Park, past the house that is now hers, past the streets where Judge Hayes once walked, past Millennium Park where everything changed. She stops at the spot where Judge Hayes collapsed, where her life pivoted on a choice. A bronze plaque has been installed, small, tasteful. On this spot, compassion chose justice, courage chose life, and one moment changed everything. In memory of Judge Margaret Hayes, who taught us that legacy is not what we leave behind, but who we lift up. Aaliyah Carter, Chair, Hayes Medical Justice Foundation. Aaliyah stands before the plaque, silent, remembering. A young black woman approaches, early 20s. Hospital ID badge. Environmental services. Are you Aaliyah Carter? Yes. The woman's eyes shine. I work at Metro General. I have a degree in social work, but I could not afford the licensing exam. Your program is paying for it. I take the test next month. Aaliyah's throat tightens. What is your name, Keisha? Keisha Johnson. Keisha. Aaliyah takes her hand. You are going to pass that exam, and you are going to change lives. I know it. How do you know? Because someone believed in me when I was invisible, and now I believe in you. Keisha's tears fall. Thank you. Thank you for seeing us. After she leaves, Aaliyah sits on a park bench, watching joggers pass, watching tourists take photos, watching life continue in the place where hers was reborn. Her phone buzzes. A text from Jordan. Got accepted to Howard Law School. Full ride. Following in Judge Hayes' footsteps. Another text. From Diane. Grandma is in remission. 3 months cancer-free. Another. From Mrs. Rodriguez. My daughter graduated high school. First in our family. She wants to be a nurse like you. Ripples. Spreading outward. One choice. One moment. Infinite consequences. Your title does not define your worth. Aaliyah whispers to the wind. Your uniform does not limit your potential. Somewhere right now, someone is being overlooked. Someone is being underestimated. But talent cannot stay hidden forever. Justice always finds a way. And when it does, the world has no choice but to watch. She stands, straightens her jacket, returns to the foundation office, to the work, to the legacy, to the 50 years of fighting that now rests on her shoulders. Judge Margaret Hayes is gone, but her dream lives on, carried forward by a young woman who once chose 8 minutes of CPR over her entire future and discovered that sometimes losing everything is how you find what truly matters. This is what Tales of Black Justice is all about. Aaliyah Carter could have walked past that park. She could have chosen her exam over a stranger's life. Instead, she proved something the world needs to remember. Your worth is not measured by your title or your bank account. It is measured by what you do when someone needs you most. Judge Margaret Hayes spent 50 years fighting for medical justice. Now her legacy lives on through the young woman who saved her life. If you believe that talent deserves opportunity, that compassion deserves recognition, and that justice is still alive in this world, show us right now. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and drop a comment telling us who in your life has been overlooked but deserves to be seen. Because every invisible person has a story, and we are here to tell it.